Shalom, giving all praise and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. And this is Shalom to all you Archie, maybe pushing this word around the globe in faith and in truth and in sincerity. So as always, I'm going to start by saying we are the true Hebrew Israelites. The true Israelites, these so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Mexicans, South Americans, like Bolivia, Ecuador, Colombia, all those countries, and the West Indians, you Jamaicans, you Dominicans, you Haitians, and West Africans, we are the true descendants of the man in the Bible who is named Israel. Therefore, we are the true Israelites. But this doesn't just apply to the people that I mentioned aforementioned. This also applies to anybody who may look like any of the other 17 nations. But if they believe on this word, the King James 1611 Bible, and they believe on the names of Yahweh and Yahushai, being Yahweh being the Most High, the one true God of the Bible, and Yahushai being the one true name of the one that the world calls Jesus Christ. If you believe on these names in faith and in truth and in sincerity, then you too might be an Israelite, because Israel has been scattered amongst all nations. So therefore we're going to look like all peoples, pertaining to some of the curses that were mentioned in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28. So we're going to look like all peoples. But if you want to learn more about the nations that fall under the 12 tribes, you can just Google GMS 12 tribes sign. So I'm going to get into this lesson. And what happened is, yesterday when I was coming home from camp, I was sitting on the train and I saw this advert in front of me. So I was reading it and I was thinking to myself, hang on a minute, this is interesting, because recently I've been going into a lot of Mark of the Beast prophecies. And I've seen another one. So let's get into this now. So this advert was on the train when I was riding home, and it says, starting reading from the top left, it says curve. It says, this is not a card. Now, as you can see in this advert, you've got what looks like a bank card here. And it says, one curve is all your cards in one. It says, connect all your cards to one smart card and an even smarter app. Then moving on to the right, it says, free your money. And it says, sign up today and get £10, promo code Cuba. So I was looking at this and I thought, hang on a minute, this sounds interesting. So when I came home, I went on the internet and I done some research to find out more about this. Now what this is it's basically from the reviews I was watching. What this card allows you to do is to merge all of your banking cards into one card. So let's say hypothetically you have 3 bank accounts. Let's say you have a bank account with Lloyds Bank, a bank account with NatWest, and a bank account with HSBC. You're going to have 3 cards to access those accounts, aren't you? Now, what this one curve card allows you to do is to merge all 3 of those cards together. So what you would do is, rather than carrying 3 bank cards in your wallet, you only carry 1 card. And that 1 card allows you to access all 3 of your accounts, or to make payments from any of those 3 accounts. Now, what a lot of the reviewers were saying that, oh, this is so much more convenient, because rather than carrying 3 cards, you can only carry 1 card and it makes your wallet a lot lighter. Now, that on the surface might seem like something, fine and well and, nothing to worry about. But what people who are spiritual and can see the significance behind these things can see that this is another step towards pushing people in towards accepting the mark of the beast, because when the mark of the beast comes, everything's going to be unified and tied into one point, which will be the RFID microchip. All of your information, let's say your university records, your medical records, your education history, as I just said, your driving license, all of your bank accounts, probably even access to things like your social media accounts, like your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, if you have those things, your eBay, your Amazon, or whatever else you do on the internet, you will be able to access it all through one point, which is that RFID microchip. Now that's going to be touted as being, so much more convenient, so much more practical. You don't have to remember your passwords, you don't have to remember your PIN numbers, all this kind of shit is going to be put on this one RFID. Now, this curve card is one step closer towards preparing people for accepting the RFID system, where everything is unified into one device, smart device. So and also you know, as I said, if you're simple, you're not going to see where this stuff is going. But when you're smart, you look at this and you think to yourself, hang on a minute. If I've got three bank accounts and I've got three banking cards, how much do each of these cards measure in terms of width? I mean, off the top of my head, I'd say that your average banker card is something like 1 millimeter thick, or maybe at the most 2 millimeters. Yeah. So altogether, if you had three cards, that'd be hypothetically six. It might be even less. It might be 6 millimeters worth of width added to your wallet. How much is that? That's nothing, you know. But people seem to think, oh yeah, but you know, my wallet's so big, I don't want it in my pocket anymore. This is bullshit, man. It's nothing. It's like saying, oh, I don't want to wear underwear because it makes the space between. It's a bit of a bad example, but um, you know, someone saying, oh, I don't want to wear jeans because they're too thick or some shit like that. You know, the jeans should be thinner, the denim should be thinner, or something. Just something so silly. You know, something that was never really a problem, but now all of a sudden, oh, it's a massive problem having to have three cards in my wallet or something like that. So, as I said, I came home and I've done some research on this. So maybe I'll go to the website and read what I found here. Let's see what it says. Yeah, this is your curve card here. See, this is the card they're promoting. It says one card, one app for all your accounts. Now, what you would do is when you order this card from these people, you get the app, and you're allowed to. What you see, the thing is, it seems a little bit more ridiculous because, let's say you got three cards, yeah, and you've got them all synced to this one curve card. To change them, you actually have to go into your phone, open the app, click the card you want to use, then use the card, put your phone away, put your card away, and then go about your business. Now they say once you've made a payment, and say hypothetically you made a payment and you picked the wrong card, later on you can go in your app, reassign the card that you wanted to pay for, and the payment will go from that card. So there's a little bit of legwork involved in actually using this thing, and it doesn't really seem as the great solution that it pertains they're portraying it to be. But the whole point of is it's not about that. It's all about conditioning people into convenience and using one device. That's essentially what it's trying to get people into doing. If they can get people to migrate from using three cards to one card, it's an even easier step to get people to migrate from using one card to one RFID implantable microchip. You see what I'm saying? It's all a part of the conditioning process because they can't just throw the mark of the beast out there on the people if they're not mentally conditioned to be receptive to it. So this is all about conditioning people to be receptive towards accepting this new RFID microchip. So let's keep reading. It says, one card, one app for your accounts. It says, download Curve for free today and receive the powerful Curve card. No subscription necessary. No risk. No deposits. Just the power to uncomplicate your money. Now this is funny because when they're going to push the mark of the beast, they're probably going to use the same type of jargon. Let's get this word up in the dictionary, jargon, if I can. Where are we? It's dictionary. So like, yeah, this dictionary doesn't work on the screen sideways, so I have to rotate it for a moment. Okay, this is the definition of jargon. It says the language, especially the vocabulary peculiar to a particular trade, profession, or group, medical jargon, yeah? 2. Unintelligible or meaningless talk or writing, gibberish. 3. Any writing or talk that one does not understand, yeah? Pidgin, I don't know what that definition 4 means, if we're going to that. 1. An auxiliary language that has come into existence through attempts by speakers of two different languages to communicate, and it is primarily simplified from one of the languages. That's not what I'm looking for. Number 5. Language that is characterized by uncommon or pretentious vocabulary, and convoluted syntax that is often vague in its meaning. I think that's what I'm looking for here, this definition number 5. Because the use of, let's turn this back around again. The use of their jargon is they're hiding things beneath the words. So basically, it's download your Curve card for free today and receive the powerful. Now, when you think about it, what's powerful about a card? These credit cards can be flipping cut in half with with a pair of scissors. They're not exactly powerful. It's not like a piece of steel or iron, but it's trying to get people's minds into thinking that, oh, this card is it's a great thing. It's powerful. It's magnified. It's something to be looked on and revered. It says no subscription necessary, but here's the point I want to make: no risk. Yeah, it's saying no risks. And that's the kind of way they're going to push the RFID microchip. They're going to be saying, oh, it's really safe, it's just the size of a grain of rice. There's no risk if you take it. Where Revelation 14:9 says there is a great risk for taking that mark of the beast. I'll get into those scriptures in a minute. But let's just keep going with this. It says no risk, no deposits, just the power to uncomplicate your money. So how is your money complicated in the first place? If you know how to manage your money, it's not complicated. But this is what it says. It says, this is your badass 100 cards in one. Now, who has 100 cards? Banking cards. Who has 100 banking accounts? Nobody has 100 banking accounts. This is ridiculous. Or I've never met anybody who's got 100 banking accounts. That's me personally. But it says, your gateway to money for nothing. Your personal firewall. Your kick-ass travel companion. And yeah, it's a time machine. So obviously these companies have featured it. Like you've got Apple there, Wired, Financial Times, Sunday Times, BBC, CNBC, TechCrunch, Forbes, the Wall Street Journal, and the Telegraph. So obviously they're all of these media outlets are all basically controlled by Esau, and they're all towards pushing the same agenda. That's why all of these you've got Forbes, BBC, Wired, Financial Times, CNBC, Wall Street Journal, Apple, they're all pushing towards this, and the Telegraph, they're all pushing towards the mark of the beast. Subtly, So it says here, choose Curve, choose all your cards in one, choose killer FX rates, choose 1% instant cashback, real-time spend alerts, and advanced encryption algorithms. Choose a freaking time machine, seriously, choose Curve. One app to rule them all. You see, now this quote, one app to rule them all, this is a quote from J.R. Tolkien, The Lord of the Rings. And that's quite funny actually, because The Lord of the Rings is all about the one ring to rule them all. Well, eventually it's going to be one mark to rule them all, which is the mark of the beast. Got to be spiritual in discerning these things, man. So let's keep going. It says control every card in your wallet from the Smart Curve app. Scan, upload, and use your cards with Curve in 59 seconds. Track and monitor all of your cards in one place. Now that's beautiful because, as I said, when people get the RFID microchip implant, which is the mark of the beast, Esau will be able to track and monitor all of your activity in one place. And that's the whole point. That's what it's going for. So as you can see, there's the app there. You download the app and you use this card. It says, didn't receive your goods, items damaged, no refund. We'll protect all of our customers' money with purchases up to 100,000. Curve customer protection is 3 times better than any of your banks. Plus, we will protect both your debit and credit cards. Supercharge your cards. Spend on adventures stress-free. Want to see the New York skyline without sky-high fees? Curve gives you killer FX rates so you can spend more on incredible experiences and indulges because you deserve it. Now, this is the funny thing about this world, it's like, I was walking through a shopping centre yesterday. I was thinking, everyone in this world is just concerned with vanity and folly and convenience and having a good time. But where in the scriptures did it say that, a man was put on the earth to have a good time? If I'm not mistaken, in Ecclesiastes 12:12 it says, for this is the whole duty of man, to fear the Lord and keep his commandments. Let me get that. Ecclesiastes 12. Yeah, it's like Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. It says, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For Yahweh Hashem Yahshua will bring every work into judgment, even with every secret thing, whether it be good, whether it be evil." That's the whole duty of man. We're not supposed to be living in a la la land fantasy where thinking that, this is all, about candy floss and ice cream and all that kind of shit. This is real life, man. Anyway, let's keep reading. It says, stylish, minimalist freedom. This isn't freedom. But it says, fed up with lugging around that hefty wallet. Oh my gosh. This is bullshit, man. It makes it sound like you're traveling with one of those travel cases that you take when you go on an aeroplane. Trying to make out as if your wallet is some heavy thing, man. It's ridiculous. But it says, fed up with lugging around that hefty wallet? With your curve, you only need one card, so you can be freed from carrying that bulky baggage everywhere. Learn more. All your money at a glance, instant everything. You see, this is all these words that they're using, these advertising slogans. That's another word to use. There we go. This is what I was looking for. Slogan. It says, a distinctive cry, phrase, or motto of any party, group, manufacturer, or person, catchword or catchphrase. See, so like I think I pulled out the word jargon before, and I really wanted the word slogan. A war cry, or gathering cry, formerly used among the Scottish clans. But it's definition one that I'm using there. A distinctive cry, phrase, or motto of any party, group, manufacturer, or person, catchword or catchphrase. See, because all this advertising basically revolves around the use of slogans, catchy catchphrases, which, get people's minds to accept whatever it is they're trying to advertise. So it says, real-time alerts. Everything you buy gets a color category on your timeline. Spending at home or abroad. Keep track of or trying to save. Curve helps you understand so much more. Ultimate flexibility. Time travel. Use the wrong card to pay for lunch, clothes, or even a light easy fix. Go back in time to simply switch the card you used. We literally free your money. Okay, I think I've read enough about this. I think I've made the point, so let's just get these scriptures. Actually, hang on, this is interesting. It says, bulletproof. Of course, you expect your finances to be secure and your data kept private. That's why Curve uses military-grade security. I guess they're going to say that RFID chip 2 uses military-grade security. It says, lost your card? Say, lost your Curve card? Boom. Curve is your money firewall to all your cards. Freeze it with a single tap in the app. Curve customer protection puts you first, not retailers or banks. You're covered up to 100,000, unlike Section 75, and your credit card and your debit card purchases are covered. As I said, I think I've read enough about this and I've made the point. So let's get some scriptures up. Alright, now I'm going to read Revelation chapter 13 verse 15, because this is all leading up to the mark of the beast. And those who have eyes to see and ears to hear will be able to understand these things quite clearly, because we're supposed to be spiritual watchmen, yeah? We're not supposed to be asleep like the rest of the masses out here. So it says, Revelation 13 and 15 says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So that's basically what this is all leading up to. They're trying to push people in towards, taking those little steps, those little baby steps, First, you've got back in the day, you'd pay with cash. Then they said you could pay with checks and your banking card. Then they introduced chip and pin. Now it's tap and pay. Now they're merging all of your cards into one card. Then it's going to be merging all of your information and your data into one microchip. Then that chip's going to be implanted in you, and Esau's going to have 100% control of you, because that's the mark of the beast spoken of here in Revelation verses 13 and 16. I'll read it again. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So in Revelation 14 and 9, it tells you the judgment that you're going to receive if you take this mark of the beast. It says, let me start from Revelation 14 and 7. This is the angel saying, no, let me start from Revelation 14 and 6, get a little bit more meat here. It says, and I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation and kindred and tongue and people, saying with a loud voice, fear the Most High, and give glory unto him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of waters. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen. Now Babylon being spoken of here is talking about America, because America is known as Babylon the Great. It says, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all the nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his hand, or in his forehead, or in his hand, here's the point, it says, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and with brimstone, and in the presence of the holy angels, and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up for ever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High, and the faith of Yahushua. So that's the judgment, yeah? If you take this mark of the beast, you're going to catch a nuke, because America, Babylon the Great, is going to be destroyed with thermonuclear destruction, and also with the chariots when Yahushua comes back, pertaining to Isaiah chapter 66 and 15 when I get that in a second. But it's not just America that's going to be destroyed. Most of the major cities in the world are going to get nuked, because fire is a cleansing agent, and the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Therefore Yahweh's judgment is to cleanse the earth with fire. Whereas back in Genesis, in the days of Noah, he cleansed the earth with the flood, with water. This second death, the second major judgment from Yahushua, is to cleanse the earth with fire. Yeah? So it's not talking about a place under the ground where you're going to burn in hell for eternity. No. It's just talking about the second destruction, which is soon to come upon the earth. So let's get Isaiah 66 and 15 and close this out. It says, for behold, Yahweh will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many. So, yeah, I'm going to close this out because I don't need to make this any longer. I'm just seeing more and more signs that are pushing towards this RFID microchip implant. I've done a video, I think it was on Friday, about this ID 2020 thing, which they're going to be pushing in 2020. So Esau's going to be making this big push for the mark of the beast starting in 2020. We're going to see a lot of things rolled out for that. I mean, they've already put the 5G network there in place. The infrastructure is already there. But something else I wanted to mention is that this is funny because on the screen it says Isaiah 66, and I was counting, and if I'm not mistaken, at the time of this recording, there are only 66 days left until the end of 2019 and the start of 2020. So that's only 66 days away from Esau making his big push towards bringing out this RFID microchip implant. So that means we're closer than ever towards the end of this thing, because once Esau makes that chip mandatory, it's game over. It's game over. It's end game, because Yahushua is going to be, the elect will have been sealed, and then all the prophecies are going to start to come to pass. The chief prophecy being the return of Yahushua. So that time is coming very, very rapidly. So now's the time to start getting right. If you ain't, if you've got a foot half in and half out of this truth, you need to work out where you stand, because Yahushua ain't looking for people who are lukewarm, man. Let me get that in Revelation 3. Let me get that. Yeah, here we go. This is Revelation 3 and 14. It says, and unto the angel. Now let me start from 13. It's beautiful. Revelation 3 and 13. It says, he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. And unto the angel of the church of the Laodiceans write, these things saith the Amen, the faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of the Most High. I know thy work. This is Yahushua's words here. It says, I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would that thou wert cold or hot. But because thou art lukewarm, and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Because thou sayest, I am rich and increased with goods, and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched and miserable, and poor and blind and naked. Basically, the whole point is that we can't be lukewarm in this thing. You got to be 100% down for Yahushua. If you ain't 100% down for if you ain't 100% down for Yahushua, then you're with this system. There's no middle ground, okay? So if you're on the fence trying to play Humpty Dumpty, well, you need to get smart, because it didn't end well for Humpty Dumpty, and it won't end well for you when Yahushua returns. So with that, once again, giving all praise and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba Hashem Yahushua, Ba Hashem Rahakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and a sincere shalom to all you Akim who be pushing this word around the globe in faith and in truth and in sincerity. And until the next time I'm able to do a lesson, Lord willing, I say shalom.